Yeah, we don't want nobody telling us what to do. We don't want nobody pushing us around.
I apologize. But tell me, just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. We want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
Welcome to the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Dirty.
I'm Tate.
And today we're joined by Vito and Mijo, guests that were formerly on other podcasts. Vito was episode 12, right?
Vito was episode 12. Yeah.
Vito was episode 12, so if you want to know more about Vito, check out episode 12. And Mijo, our brother Mijo.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. And today, we're solving fucking racism. Because apparently the goddamn world went fucking crazy this past fucking week. You know? I mean, I get it. I hate cops too. Don't get me wrong. You know, as Black Dragon would say, if you want to know what it's like to be black, put a patch on your back. I get it. But I can actually take my patch off. So... You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's one of those things like I sympathize because I've been profiled as a bike, and it's so fucking weird to say this in front of people of color. Like, I've been fucked with by the cops for who I am, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. It comes with the territory. Brother Mijo knows what I'm talking about. I mean, we'll get like, remember when we were coming back from fucking Kentucky? And we stopped at that, like, gas station / farmer's market.
And there was that unmarked car from Wisconsin there.
Yeah, an unmarked car from Wisconsin shows up in two fucking... what was it? It was not fucking AT. It was DEA.
Yeah.
Fucking guys just fucking come walking past us, staring at them like, what the fuck?
They were sitting eating a fucking sandwich and some soda.
It was fucking weird, man. It was fucking weird. And I mean, we're just fucking cruising. I mean, it's not like we're fucking running drugs for the Irish mob.
Dude, but I feel like whether you're black, you're white, whatever you might be, a biker, you're in a club or not, dude, I feel whoever you are, dude, whenever a cop does get behind you, you're scared. Whether you're doing something right or you're doing something
right. No
matter who you are. So, but again, dude, if these people are put out there to protect and serve us, why should you fear them? You shouldn't be scared of them. But it's crazy. There's more people out here right now that fear them than trust them.
All right. Well, Vito is also here. And since Vito is here, we have fancy fucking cigars.
Again.
And premium fucking alcohol. So we're gonna do a joint light up. Is everybody ready to do a joint light up on these fucking? Dude, what is this?
We're lighting up joints.
What is this fucking cigar I'm fucking about to enjoy?
It's
it says acid on it. Am I gonna trip balls? Dude?
No.
Acid. Those are good cigars.
No, it's you know, our last podcast, you said you liked
Switch Your Sweets.
Yeah. Right? Exactly.
Did you steal my lighter, man?
My comment
I did.
to that was Deadwood Tobacco, Sweet Jane, Fat Bottom Betty, which Mijo has brought with him.
Yep.
So
Mijo's down.
That's a good cigar. That's a great cigar if you want to smoke around people who may not be like the biggest cigar smokers or whatever.
This is what I started on because it's easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that particular acid blondie you have right there is right next to that one there.
No.
Yep. So if I wouldn't have brought you that one because I couldn't find that one, that would have been the next one in line.
Nice.
Yep. So didn't cheap shot you. Didn't cheap you at all.
Well, fuck it, man. I'll go
Pretty
to
soon you're gonna have a smoking hot blonde, brother.
Nice.
I already do.
All right.
That's true.
Hashtag Sage. But she was a brunette when I met her, but now she's a blonde. So that's the way life works out. Are we lighting up?
We are lighting up.
All right, let's light up. And if you're just listening on on a podcast feed, and you're like, these assholes are taking too much time to light their fucking cigars and fucking continue on the podcast, so I'm going to fucking switch over back to, I don't know, Better Homes and Garden or whatever the fuck you were listening to before this. We apologize, but...
I apologize for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No. No, actually, we just received some criticism, didn't we? We had a...
Oh,
actually,
yeah, we get all sorts of fucking hate, dude.
We had a fan from down under, though.
Yeah, some fucking douchebag from fucking...
Australia.
Oh, dude, that guy's like, you guys are real bikers, you know, or however the fuck they talk, you know.
Call them bikies, don't they?
Oh, they call them bikies. No wonder they took your fucking guns away, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Come up here, get a 5.56 round in the fucking face. But, enough of that. So, we all lit up?
We are all
We are. This is nice. It's a nice cigar.
That's the Davidoff I gave you there.
I love a good Davidoff.
I'm smoking the I can never say it right. Placencia. Yep, that's right.
Placencia.
Yep. Deadwood.
Yep.
Nice.
Acid blonde. Yeah.
Acid blonde. Fuck yeah, man.
Should we take the lid off too? While we're at it?
Yeah. So we're gonna.
You guys want to make me wish I drink again? But
We're gonna have no. This you're better.
I
than all
know.
this. Yeah.
I got root beer. I'm fine.
No.
It's a treat.
No, the last time, if anybody watches episode was 12 with the Vito, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Episode 12. I got so fucking drunk during that fucking podcast. I almost feel bad for the listeners and Vito and anybody who happens to stumble across it because, man, I got fucked up.
They got what they paid for.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. Fucking get a bunch of bikers around a fucking bottle of fucking booze and watch what happens.
So this is a Belvini
Belvini.
12-year doublewood.
12-year doublewood. Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
That's some high-end shit.
Wow.
Fuck.
That's good stuff.
Hell yeah, man.
Either way, you know, you're right, though, brother. There's some crazy shit going on, man. I was watching the TV last night. I've been boycotting the news for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
But I was kind of entranced watching it all last night. We got, looks like the Great Boogaloo's starting
God, I hope so.
out there, at least.
Oh,
At
cheers.
least last night it seemed to be. Cheers, brother.
Brother Mijo, pay attention.
Right?
We're doing this.
Youngsters,
Here's to us,
I tell
fuck the
you.
rest.
But some crazy shit, man. I mean, watching fires, watching... I don't know. I guess we'd be controversial if we were going to bring it up and talk about it, but far be it from us to...
Is it crazy though?
I don't know. Is it? It's a good question.
Is it? Is it any more crazier than, you know, a few weeks before that, people on Capitol steps with their Second Amendment draped around their necks, you know, protesting stay-at-home orders in Michigan?
No, I agree
Wisconsin,
completely. I mean,
and-
it.
Right.
You can insert whatever topic of demonstration. It's all an expression of what's going on with the American populace. That's for sure. I mean, you look at what happened in Minneapolis, and you can see it from whatever camera angle you want to, but you can't take away from the fact that what happened, and there is no spin on that whatsoever.
But they're trying.
Oh, they always do.
Oh, they are trying.
They always do.
It's, something that unfortunately we have to accept as a people that we've done to ourselves. We have empowered our slave masters so hard that they no longer have to be accountable. We make their excuses for them.
Yeah, we seem to. At least
Yep.
it's allowed to be fomented. You know.
Yep, exactly. Until we get to the point where we stop endorsing these behaviors in which we would accept in our own homes, this will never stop.
Yeah.
It only stops when the crisis becomes bigger, or no, the violence, the act, right, becomes bigger than the crisis or anarchy. And until we get to that point, this is just going to be another one. And then a few years down the road, it's going to be another one. And then there's going to be another one.
What bothers me is I think it's going to be less than a few years.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing an increase in frequency, but
Well, I think what's fucked up, and Vito kind of touched on it. It's like it's not a black and white thing.
Mm-mm.
You know, when you talked about people protesting the quarantine, safer at home, you're looking at things going on.
really
and
nice. This is really nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, these are fucking amazing cigars.
I had to.
Let's take a fucking break from our serious conversation to remark on the fact that these fucking cigars are top notch.
Would you lighten the fuck up, please?
No, I am lighting the fuck up. I'm literally taking a break from the conversation because I'm like,
boom, segue right there.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna say, dude, we took a fucking swig of this fucking premium booze.
That looks good.
And I'm like, that's some fucking good hooch, man. Holy fuck.
It's got some nice legs in that
I
glass,
matched
too.
everything for a reason, believe me.
Jesus Christ, man! I gotta hang out with you more often. You know how to fucking live. I'm drinking cheap fucking Irish fucking
Hey,
whiskey
wait a
and
minute. The stuff I brought last time was $18, $17, and it was fucking. It was just as good as what's
exactly. I don't fucking drink.
How much
like
did you
this.
buy this for?
Yeah, what was this?
So on shelf it is, I think like $60.
Holy
and
shit!
I end up getting it for $25.
Oh, that's a deal.
I know the
Jesus.
guy, and we exchange a favor, and it's
See, you buy expensive booze, you won't drink it as quick, and then you won't be fucking drunk all the time.
Or no, you end up knowing so many people in the bar and restaurant business.
Yeah.
You end up getting so much free stuff, and
Then you're drunk all the time.
Right, and then you're drunk
Shit.
all the time.
At least you're
Right.
drunk on good, expensive booze all the time.
You obviously never worked in the restaurant industry.
I'm Mexican, yes, I have.
There you go.
Wow.
That's a stereotype,
Yeah,
Mijo.
I washed my fair fucking share of dishes and bus tables when I was 14,
And
trust
listen,
me.
that's not racist because your best friend's Mexican, so you can correct that joke.
Right.
I'm only doing this podcast to prove that I'm friends with minorities. But, anyways,
Equal opportunity.
it's an equal opportunity podcast.
There you go.
I'm
That's
not
right.
allowed to speak on the subject. I'm from Sweden. I've got ancestry from Germany and Sweden, so I'm white,
Right.
German, Swedish. I'm just supposed to shut the fuck up. So
I'm like,
Well, at least
I'll
you're not-
exercise that right.
Well, hopefully you're not one of the Dutch. I mean, they were the inventors.
Oh,
of
well, fuck the
indentured
Dutch. And if they
servitude
ride a
and
Goldwing,
slavery
well,
and-
hell, I got a problem with that, too. Dutch people on Goldwings, brother.
hey, first of all, motorcycles.
Hey, what's up? Motorcycle.
First of all, never trust a fucking person on a Goldwing. Second of all, what I was getting at, like, you seeing all these fucking protests right now about the quarantine, about, your rights are being infringed. And, yeah, Vito fucking hit the nail right on the head. You're seeing white dudes, let's be honest, white dudes with AR-15s, what have you, walking up to the Capitol, and there's nothing really stepping on their dick saying they can't do that. Mm-hmm. And then the one time they said they were going to fucking not allow them to do it, and the white protesters said, yeah, we're going to do it fucking anyways, they just, like, shut everything down. Because they were like, we don't want that fight. Right?
Yep.
They just said, we don't want that fucking fight. Now, you look at what happened to Minneapolis. Okay? That protest went violent right the fuck away.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm gonna look something up on Facebook because I made a post, and the reason I made it is because when being a part of the social media machine, I'm posting, fucking our videos and our podcast and whatever. I see a lot of other people's posts, and I see a lot of other, bikers fucking talk about, what's happening in the world. And, because bikers are human beings, and they're fucking opinionated, and we're in touch with current events, and they always have a special take on the subject, And most of the time, it's older white dudes fucking talking shit about anybody who's not an older white dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, if you're not an older white dude, then they're going to talk shit about you. But my point is that, I can do it by memory. It's like, they say, oh, those protesters, I was on their side right up until they started burning their fucking city down and starting Walmart on fire or Target or AutoZone. And it's like, first of all, you weren't on their fucking side. You were never on their fucking side.
Exactly.
You were never fucking sympathetic to somebody who very realistically has to be concerned about getting pulled over.
Dude, if anything, those people are getting the outcome that they want. They want to see these people react
Exactly.
that way. So that way they can say, look, they're acting like fucking animals.
Exactly.
Now let's fucking treat them like animals.
Exactly. I mean,
Dude, but that's also the people that are rioting's fault for stooping down to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they want to do. They want to stereotype you.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're giving them what they want. So you're fueling their fire as well.
But what other fucking choice do you have? You know what I mean?
I mean, don't they say violence gets the point across, right?
No, it's very well. The point I was making on the social media machine, fucking Facebook, is that if you want to get the fucking attention of the government, motorcycles. If you want to get the fucking attention of the government, right, and you want to fucking send a message, you start a fucking big ass fire. Why? Because the government fucking revolves around money, right? The golden rule is those with the gold make the fucking rules.
Right.
Okay? Like I alluded before, like, we're in a fucking motorcycle club. Okay? We have gotten shit on by the fucking authorities. But the beauty about being a white male in a motorcycle club is I could take my fucking colors off and put on a fucking polo shirt and my New Balance shoes and blend in with the rest of fucking America, and nobody's going to give me shit.
I own one polo shirt. It's black.
I don't own any polo shirts. I own 0 polo shirts.
I have one.
Thanks, corporate America. You're a shill.
I was at one point in time, man.
You're
I did. I was corporate. You know that.
Yeah, no, I do, and it's fine. Everybody's a biker here. But my point is, it's like, man, you were never on their fucking side. You have no idea what the fuck a minority goes through in this fucking country. You don't. You have no fucking idea. Even me as a fucking guy with a patch on my back and biker, you know, whatever, I have no fucking idea. Because I can take it off. I can put on a fucking Carhartt coat and fucking blend right in with the rest of the whites at fucking Farm and Fleet, and nobody's going to give me shit.
You're right. Well, and it's the same along the same lines as we like to say to people that say, well, this, that, and the other thing about a club, and we tell them, unless you've been through the club experience, you can't talk about the club because you don't know. And it's one of those things to be experienced, and that's the same thing that we're talking about right here. Just insert a different,
but it's like
it's like factor.
It's like Dirty saying he could take his, he takes his cut off and he's good to go, and he doesn't really have
that's
to.
the big difference.
Yeah, that's the big difference. It's you can't take this off. You can't take your skin off. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with that being said, I would like to bring this up. Before we became international as a people, okay. Remember, people found people in their own races and demographics to also do that same thing too.
Yeah.
Irish were doing it to the Irish. The English were doing it to the English. Britain was doing it to the Britons. So even if Mijo and you, or Mijo and I, Mijo and me,
goodly English.
Really good fucking whiskey. Really good whiskey. Anyways.
If we didn't live in America, right? The same thing would be happening here in America. It just would be happening to people of social economics.
Well,
right.
America has a long history of ambivalence with this with this culture.
Right.
I mean, look at in the 1800s with the Irish and the Chinese, and there's a lot
And
of
the
immigrants
Italians.
and the Italians,
Yep.
and
The Polish.
The Polish. Oh my gosh! Look at all the stereotypes that have been born from that.
But you're right. I think that a lot of racism that is alive has to do a lot with economics and money and stuff.
So with that, something. I am not the voice of all black people. I am my voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I speak for self and people who may think like me or might think close to me but have their own differences or whatever, right? I wish, and this was something that Barack Obama had said when he was congratulating, I think, Russell Wilson when he won a Super Bowl. It was I think, was Russell Wilson like the second black quarterback or something like that to win a Super Bowl or, whatever.
The first one was
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams,
Yep.
Washington Redskins, 1989.
Yep.
Or 88, one of the two, I can't remember.
And so,
I don't know sports.
Me neither.
And
I remember the game.
And this is just from memory. He had said, one day we will not have to celebrate that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, we need to look at this as a people first thing. Because until we do, that message will not reach the masses. Period.
Yeah.
What happened to Mr. Floyd is tragic. There are some demographic markers there that kind of play into that, right?
Well, let's be honest.
But what happened to that man
Yeah.
should be an American problem.
And that's...
Because what happened to him threatens our very fabric of being and existing and living more than any stay-at-home order does. Period.
Well, that's just what I was going to bring up. Like, it's not about Floyd, right? It's not just about him. Mm-hmm. It's about the countless others that have been caught on video since the smartphone revolution happened.
Yep. The ones we've never heard about.
Yeah. You know, all...
They have been useful to the media.
You know, and I feel like an asshole because I can't fucking remember names for shit because I drink fucking high-end fucking scotch, apparently. But, you know, like that dude that got fucking gunned down in Detroit for going for his fucking ID in his, you know, in his back pocket.
What about the young man that was jogging down the street and got shot?
Because they thought he was robbing, and he was never even doing any of that.
Well, let me put it to you like this. I can't fucking name off everybody who's been gunned down who was of color by the cops in the past, I don't know, say 5 fucking years.
Right.
Because there's too fucking many.
Yep.
Right? You just can't. There's too fucking many. Too many fucking times is there a fucking viral video of some fucking cop shooting a fucking guy over fucking nothing. Okay? Now, do I think all cops are fucking gun-toting black people or minority-hating motherfuckers? No, I don't think that. What I think is that police in a whole are undertrained, underpaid, and put under a large amount of stress, and they're trying to do a job
on and off duty.
Exactly. They're trying to do a job that's fucking almost impossible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it.
No, no way.
Fuck no.
When I was watching those riots last night and I heard that there were shots fired into the crowd of cops, I'm like, dude, what do you do? Do you just get up and just give it up, turn around and go home? Because it's, dude, you're at a life or death matter because of some other asshole. You know what I mean? So it's like, it sucks for those, like, again, I don't always agree with cops and shit like that either. But at the end of the day, some of those dudes, that's somebody's husband, somebody's dad, somebody's something, and some of those dudes actually,
they're human beings.
But some of those dudes actually are very involved in their community, and they're actually there to do things for their community. And then you get guys like this dude that, you know, kneeled on this guy and killed him,
shoving,
and now you put the good cops in such a dangerous situation, and it sucks, dude. It sucks for them. I'm going to say that.
What about that guy, that cop, that put out that viral video talking about this very thing a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, Anderson.
Yep. Put out that video to say, hey, we need to bridge this gap between community and us who are here just to protect and serve and enforce the law.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got to be a lot of give and
They
take.
fired him.
Yeah.
I don't know if they fired him yet,
No,
but he's
no,
on the
they-
on the verge.
He's on
the verge.
Paid leave, I think it is.
Yeah.
No.
Pending
He's on paid
investigation.
leave now.
Right.
Yeah.
They initially fired him.
Right, and then
And now,
because of
right, exactly.
Well,
That,
well, guys, we're going down a real. I'm not going to say a slippery slope because it's not. It's not a slippery slope.
Right.
But we are the biker's lifestyle,
Yep.
and me being the wise ass that I am,
Yep.
I just want to say through all this, one of the things last night I saw it this morning, and they showed a picture of people who are rioting inside Target, and they're tearing up Target, and in the background, you see this little itty bitty skinny white boy with a box of Legos in his hand, and he's in the store, and I'm like, I love that motherfucker,
Right.
Because
Have you ever priced-
he's out. First of all, they're expensive, but this little skinny white boy is out in the middle of a riot with black people.
Right.
In the
Yeah.
Target, like, and he's white. Like, there's a little bit of racial disparity here, and he's stealing Legos. And that kid's got some big hairy balls, man.
Dude, well,
Or he's the biggest idiot I've ever
Let's-
seen. One of the two, or probably
let's-
both.
let me say this, though. For all the feeds that I've watched,
You
You
want to
know.
sit closer to that microphone.
for all the feeds that I've
Holy shit!
So props to the Lego kid.
for all the feeds I've watched, Legos. You know, there were, from what I've seen, just as many whites, Hispanics.
Oh yeah,
Moms,
oh yeah, exactly.
running in and out.
I'm just saying
White.
what the picture showed. You
Yeah,
know what
right,
I mean?
Right. And that's something that needs to be said out loud because the assumption is, you know, typically when you say the word thug,
Blacks and
you know,
Mexicans.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, right. Typically, when you say the word cartel, Mexicans, El Salvadorians, South Americans, right? But
to some people, we're all the same thing, you know.
Right. Believe me, I know the difference.
All the Mexican countries.
Hashtag Santa Maria family.
Hey, do you speak Mexican?
Yeah, you know, again, back to what I was saying. You're seeing a response from American people to something that's a very American societal ill.
Yeah,
right.
don't believe the spin.
Right.
Look at the actions. Look what
Right.
you're seeing, not what they're telling you what you're
Exactly.
seeing.
But
There's a lot of that going around right now.
You're right. There is a lot of whites and Mexicans that are also looting, and obviously people are going to play out, and they're going to blame it mostly on the black people because that's what they want to do right now, right? But you know what I also noticed yesterday when I was watching those riots last night is in the front lines facing off with a lot of those cops, there's actually a lot of white people that were getting in those cops' face, and and I actually seen a girl holding a sign up and said, you know, us white people are sick of it too. And they interviewed her, and they asked her, you know, what does your sign mean? And it's like, because I'm white and other white people are racist, I'm right away labeled a racist, or people think that I'm privileged, or people.
Right.
So the race thing is like, I think right now it's going all the way around for everybody, whether you be white, black, don't matter.
Here is something, you know, when I was talking about, you know, our slave masters, and when I say our slave masters, I'm talking about our appointed government officials and presidents and all that stuff, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Kudos to them. They've done a great job. And I'm going to tell you why. You look at a prison.
Yep.
Okay? You take the hardest prison, and let's say there's 1,000 people in there, okay? But obviously there are people there who need to work shifts, okay? So there's roughly 3 shifts in a day, right? Everyone works 8 hours. You might work 10 hours so you can have a good changeover in between shifts, whatever. But there's not 1,000 people working in that jail, right? There's 1,000 prisoners, but there might only be at one time maybe 10 people working in a jail full of killers, thugs, and criminals, okay? Why? Because they've even learned how to manipulate them inside, that they do their own policing, they do all that stuff for themselves, and yet they still report back to the COs.
Yeah,
right?
Dude, South America.
Yeah.
There's no guards in the prison. The prison's ran on its own.
And that is us.
Lord of the Flies, man.
That is us as a people. We've allowed these people to manipulate us, pin us against one another, spin their media stories, spin their narratives, and guess what? Until we unify, we don't scare these people, period. Until we say, you know what? You and I are no different. All right, we're going to stand on the line together. Until you do that, you don't scare these people, period. You don't scare them by not voting for them. You don't scare them by not supporting our causes. No. Why? Because they know at the end of the day they can still manipulate the masses to their narrative. And this story has been told many a times. I think, did I share with you that Marlon Brando interview?
No.
Marlon Brando won a Oscar or whatever it was for Godfather. Yeah. And he went up to accept his award, and he had a Joaquin Phoenix moment where he wanted to talk to, like, our media and how we're portraying things and how, like, we need to be careful of these messages that we're sending because we're setting ourselves up for failure. And this was something he said on the Dick Cavett show like 40 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's still prevalent to this day.
Yeah.
We are so manipulated by our mass media and the stories they want to tell us that even when we see it with our own eyes in front of us, we don't want to believe it because we've been so bamboozled by these slave masters.
Well, and to sum it up, what they know is that you say that they're doing this for the masses, but they understand that the M is silent, and they understand that we're the asses.
Yep.
Look,
but I'd like to bring it back around.
Well, I'm going to put it to you like this.
That's what I was hoping for.
I just let the guests talk, man. You know?
I know.
Here's the thing. The reason why this is the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast is because it's about bikers. All of us sitting here are bikers, whether we want to identify as biker or not, right? We all ride motorcycles. We all fucking love two-wheel death machines, blah, blah, blah. My point is that we're looking at it through the lens of a biker, right? Where a man is a man, and he is who he is. Doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're Hispanic. Doesn't fucking matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your, authenticity is. You are who you are by your own merit, right?
How you carry yourself.
Right. It's how you carry yourself. It's who you are as a fucking person. You walk into this fucking clubhouse and you're a white guy, I'm not going to automatically assume that you're cool. You know what I mean? You walk into this clubhouse as a black guy, I'm not going to automatically think, oh, man, that's a thug. No, that's the dumbest fucking shit ever. And, mainstream media wants to fucking make this fucking whole deal a fucking black and white, ordeal. It's not that. It's about fucking cops.
Yep.
It's about the fucking has and the has-nots. They fucking have, they don't have. Whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. Here's my point. It's a class warfare issue. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's about poor versus rich.
Yep.
Okay? Cops are a tool for politicians and the wealthy to maintain and control a portion of this fucking society.
Well, people have this feeling that the police prevent crime. No, they clean up after the crime's been committed.
Police react to a crime.
Exactly.
Police only react to a crime. They don't prevent shit.
Nope.
Dude, so you're absolutely right. So I commented on there's obviously millions of posts out there right now with all this shit going on, but
we have a lot of experts out there.
Yes.
Social media.
I commented on a post, somebody's like, oh, this is a race thing, this, that, and the other. And I said, I fear the cops, but I don't fear the cops because I'm Hispanic or because I'm of Mexican descent or anything. I fear the cops because of the power they hold.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, now, like you said, here we are, bikers, and we're certain kinds of people. And now, so you take me, and let's say I want to be an asshole to a cop, and I fucking piss him off, right?
Yeah.
And let's say this cop's like, all right, you want to do that? Let me plant some fucking drugs on you, whatever. Or he did this or the other. So now we go to court, and here I am, Mexican descent, tattooed, fucking looking like a dirtball. It's my word against yours, dude. I'm already fucked from the beginning because you're already going to stereotype me because of what I look like.
Well, here's another,
you know what I mean?
Here's another little harsh.
So, but
harsh
again,
reality. When you're done, let me say
but
it.
again, it's not a race thing. It's that cop has the power to do anything he wants with me, and depending on how he feels that day, that's what they're going to do.
And look, here's what I'm going to fucking say right
and
fucking
I've got
now.
something to add to it as well. Please go ahead.
You sure?
Well, all I wanted to say is, pursuant to his point,
Yeah.
what the cops realize is that innocent until proven guilty doesn't apply until you hit the courtroom.
Right.
You're guilty until proven innocent until you hit the courtroom and you're going to be judged. That's all I was going to say. That's not pursuant to his point?
It's absolutely pursuant to his point.
Unless it's one of their own.
Did I fuck up or something?
No, I fucking...
Did I steal your thunder?
No, you fucking proved a point, and I'm glad you did it because you're a beautiful man
Wow.
who has brilliant points. But my point was going to be this: what pisses me off, or what fucking drives me nuts, is the fact that the media or the Illuminati, whoever the fuck you're going to say is behind the big...
Bilderberg group.
the Bilderberg
The
group.
Rothschilds.
Yeah, the Rothschilds, right. Because
We might as well cover all bases. Hillary Clinton.
all the fucking jackasses on the fucking internet want to fucking make
wish
this
I
some
could
sort of
taste that.
fucking dark, looming fucking conspiracy, but here's the fucking actual truth of the whole situation, okay? The only color that truly fucking matters is green, right? If you have
Amen.
fucking money, then you're cool. If you don't have money, then you're somehow the fucking problem. And it doesn't matter what fucking color you are. You know why I know this? I'll tell you exactly why I fucking know this. Is because fucking everybody is watching fucking Netflix and fucking any whatever you want to fucking whatever streaming service you fucking
Hulu,
subscribe.
Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
exactly.
yeah.
Right? What are we watching? We're watching the fucking Michael Jordan story. We're watching the fucking Last Dance because it's fucking sports, so it's important. We need to watch it. Right. I grew up in fucking Chicago, man. I was down there when fucking Michael Jordan was fucking dunking on motherfuckers and winning fucking 6 fucking championships. Okay? Why are we watching it? Because it's entertaining. Why do we fucking say Michael Jordan's a god? Because he can fucking play basketball like no other fucking human being on the face of this fucking planet. Okay? It's not about color, it's about fucking class.
Larry Bird is pretty good.
Larry Bird was Larry Bird was awesome.
But he wasn't Michael.
He was no fucking Michael
I
Jordan.
know.
Michael Jordan was a fucking man.
I know. No argument.
So when you see these fucking riots happening in Minneapolis or all over the fucking world or country, whatever you want to say, right? It's not about fucking race. It's about fucking class. It's about the haves and the have fucking nots, you know? And that's what the fuck all these fucking corn-fed fucking peckerwoods need to fucking figure out. You know, if you want to sit there and fucking say that I'm some fucking, I know what's going on because, shit, goddamn, I fucking listen to Rush Limbaugh on my lunch break. I know what's going on. You have no fucking idea what's going on. You are a fucking sheep. You are fucking a piece of shit. You have no fucking idea what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on. The fucking haves want to keep what they fucking have. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. They want to keep what they fucking have.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a goddamn biker. I fucking ride two-wheel death machines. I fucking travel this fucking country, and I fucking look in the fucking eyes of these goddamn fucking hillbillies that fucking I visit in fucking southern states. They have no fucking idea. It's like Trump is not on your goddamn side. That is a rich fucking billionaire that's fucking trying to have control over a fucking portion of this fucking country so he can further advance his fucking platform for his children and his family and all his bullshit. God damn.
Wow.
But do you understand what I'm fucking saying?
Yeah.
It's not about race. It's not about fucking, where your fucking forefathers came from. It's about what you have.
But how do you transfer that to a society or a race group of people that have been just treated like shit for so many years and let them know, hey, it's not a race thing, it's about money.
And I'm going to say that
I don't know. It's a good point.
And they will, because they
I would
won't.
like to add to that.
They won't understand it because all they understand is they don't see the money. They just understand the hurt and just the shittiness and the way they've been treated. And it's like they interviewed a guy yesterday and he goes, you know what? We weren't asked to fucking be brought here. You brought us here. And you know what? We helped build this country just as much as anybody else has. Fucking all we're asking for is just treat us right. Treat us like humans. That's all we want. We're not asking you to fucking give us shit for free or anything like that. Just treat us fucking fairly. And it's like,
Saved you.
damn, he's over there burning himself.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Dude, I'm burning my computer.
Let's let it be said,
you know what I mean?
pyrotechnics here on Biker's Lifestyle. Once again, your keyboard's still got an ash on it. It's on fire.
But you know what I mean?
That's
They
really
don't.
cool.
They don't understand the money aspect.
As
Some will. They just understand, dude. They just understand what they see. I mean, a lot of people that are in those lower income communities, they don't watch the news. They don't know who the fuck has money and who doesn't, and they don't understand society as a money based thing. They understand society as a race based thing because that's the way they're treated. At least that's what I think and feel like. I mean, I could be wrong.
Okay, so yeah, me as a black biker.
You're black?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
I don't know, man.
It's a thing. It is.
Wow.
A thing. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I don't see color.
No, exactly. It's
I
the
am.
assholes.
I am afraid of the cops.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what that's like. I mean, again, please.
I am afraid of the cops, and I'm gonna just say some things out there. When I heard that Janesville and Beloit, they denounced the actions of the cops in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading that, and I'm like,
The Janesville PD and Beloit
yep,
PD did?
right. And like, I get it. You want to put this PR thing out there to, bridge this gap in your community between whatever, right? Bull fucking shit. You cannot claim you denounce anything when your own city, you don't have that kind of training and understanding of the police officers. If you can say you denounce something, then say something that follows that with, because of this, we are going to be sending our police officers and firefighters and protective services through like race training and this, that, and the other and whatever. That instead of saying it, let's put an action to it. Who knows? That may be coming.
Right.
But for right now, it sounds good to say, hey, we don't do that. But we all live in Janesville. And we all know that not to be true. We all know that in Janesville, there are some really shitty cops in Janesville.
No, there's shitty cops in Beloit, too.
And I have only known of 2 great stand-up police officers. But nonetheless, they're still police officers. Can I make the generalization and say all police officers are bad? Well, yeah. Because if it's 9 out of 10, if it is 100 out of 101, then guess what? I know that out of those 4 police officers, one of them had something had to click in his head like, shit, this is probably going too far, but I'm amongst my brothers.
Yep.
I'm amongst my people. I'm amongst my gang. I'm amongst my group. I'm amongst my, whatever. Okay, you know what? That guy, he's leadership. He's Dylan. He's handling it. I'm gonna fall in line with him.
Yeah, they have their own hierarchy.
Right.
So
exactly.
when you go back to that's funny you say that. When you go back to that video and that guy's just standing there, you don't know what his rank is. That might be his boss kneeling on this guy. You can't tell him, hey, get off him.
Right.
I mean, he's just doing what he's told and what he was trained to do. So now he's kind of got his hands tied a little bit there.
Here's why I'm afraid of police officers. Because I know that when it does come down to a court of law, they hold the upper hand to manipulate the narrative they need to sell to the judge.
Well, they're part of the judge's system, and the judge doesn't like to find out his system's broken.
Right, exactly. And so, unfortunately, me, myself in particular, just how I look, right? Before I present myself to you, right, I know that I'm judged by that immediately.
Everybody's judged in the first couple of seconds when you see him.
Now I'm on a bike.
There you go. Add another one.
Right. And I have tattoos.
There's another one.
And I'm as big as a house, so you may not be able to detain me. So,
now you're
hey, we need
too.
backup. Right? Okay.
We can't fucking ignore the samurai bun you have in your hair right now.
And so I know all these things are going to play into how I will be treated most times. Okay? The times in between that I'm not treated that way, it just does not cover up all the other times I have not. Now, the trick is, don't put yourself in those fucking situations. Period.
Bingo.
Also, you cannot help sometimes to put yourselves in that situation.
Bingo.
Yep.
So for me, it's a slippery slope. So me and the ex, we were riding our bikes. We were coming down from Thirsty Badger, coming down that back road that goes on the back prairie or something like that. It turns into Main Street, but you keep going through Beloit.
Yeah.
Okay, by Blackhawk.
Beloit Avenue.
Okay, yep. And so we're right there on the backside of Blackhawk, and she has her scarf. She's riding her bike. Her scarf's coming out. She grabs her scarf, and she's riding. The scarf is trailing behind her quite a bit, and then I motion her to pull to the center of the lane. Why would I have her do that? Because that center median is a lot wider and safer than pulling over on those gravel embankments that go down, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So she pulls over, and I'm like, hey, like stuff your scarf in your jacket, and she's starting to do that. Boom, a cop pulls out from that parking lot. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what are you doing here? And right away I said, oh, her scarf is starting to unravel. She's just getting it tucked in so we can take off. Well, no, you can't go anywhere. I'm like, sir, what do you mean I can't go anywhere?
What's up, brother?
Well, I'm going to need to see some identification because people come up and down here racing. I said, well, sir, you didn't pull us over because we were racing. We stopped because we were fixing something that was wrong.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, why haven't you asked us what was wrong or if you can assist or help? He said, because I asked for your identification. So I said to him, I said, sir, that's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. So then he sees that from me. Then he goes to the white woman who's on a Harley and says, hey, well, do you have some identification? And then I look at her and I said, do not show him shit. And so he calls for backup. Backup gets there. Young guy, right? And he's like, the young guy comes up, cool cop. Oh, yeah. We just see some identification. I said, well, we both have license plates here. You can run them.
Yeah.
Right? I said, but he did not
Get
pull...
on the back of the bike?
I said, he did not pull us over for anything illegal. We pulled over to fix an issue. And he goes and talks to him, whatever. Then they bring... some other cop comes. And this guy was like Clint Eastwood or something. All of a sudden, the initial cop that sprung out from the parking lot, this third guy is giving him the business.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and I mean, he's like pointing at the guy, whatever. The second guy, the young kid, he fans him off, so he takes off. The other guy comes up, and he's like, hey, what's the issue? And I'm like, her scarf is falling off. I didn't want to get wound up in her wheel or something like that, so she's tucking it in her jacket. She pulls it out. He sees it. He's like, okay. You guys are all right? I'm like, yep. Drinking or anything? I'm like, no, not really.
You buying?
He then says, okay, you guys take off. The other cop is screaming mad pissed. We take off. So me and the ex, we put our bikes in the garage, and I could tell she's like shucking by it. She's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
And that's kind of the point I was making, when you see these fucking people who are on social media talking about, riots and what they should or shouldn't be doing in these riots. It's like, man, you didn't walk one fucking inch in their fucking shoes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like you didn't walk fucking 1 inch in their goddamn shoes.
Mm-hmm. No, but they got to get a selfie in while they're out there, so they can post it up.
Yeah.
Say, I was there.
Morons.
Yeah.
Right.
Hashtag riot.
Yeah.
But
post it to your page,
Yeah.
Gee,
Yeah.
I wonder who did the crime. Oh, there he is.
Right.
it's not a riot unless it was on the gram.
Now it's a party.
My point is, like, you can't identify with a race if you're not that race.
Correct.
You can't.
Or even the sex. Or
Exactly.
orientation. Yep,
exactly. You are who you fucking are.
The
Right.
two
Okay.
sexes or the 52?
Yeah.
Is there a balance in there?
I'll
Anyway, go
say
ahead.
something that's fucking totally controversial.
Please.
A fucking man is a man, a woman is a woman, a biker is a biker, a white is a white, a black is a black, a Hispanic is a Hispanic.
And an asshole is an asshole.
Exactly.
You can't
So
change that.
you can't fucking sit there and say, well, I was on your side right up until you burned down Target. You know what I mean? You can't say that shit.
Nope.
Because you didn't walk fucking 1 goddamn inch in the shoes of the people who have systematically been fucked with since the day they stepped foot in this fucking country. You can't. You can't.
Systemic racism.
You can't fucking understand what that's like. I get it, right? The reason why I get it is because, I try to look at people. I try to look at people's fucking ways as if they're different than mine. So I try to understand what the fuck's going through their head. You know what I mean? So if I'm let's say a minority, I'm Hispanic, I'm black, I'm whatever. I understand that certain white cops are going to see me as public enemy number 1. Why? Because certain white cops are going to deal with certain fucking problems in society. And obviously fucking poverty and fucking low income is going to allow people or make people fucking do things that are considered wrong. Whether it's selling drugs, whether it's fucking, stealing from fucking corporations, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I get it, right? And I don't condone it or condemn it. You know why? Because my happy white ass is fucking going to work every day and fucking paying my taxes and fucking doing whatever the fuck I have to do because luckily enough, I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not saying that fucking America's fucking this giant cesspool of racism. I'm not saying that because obviously things are way better than they were fucking 50 years ago.
Are they?
Obviously. Well, they kind of are. You know? Well, and I'll say it like...
I don't think they are.
Well, I'll say they are because, like, okay, my job. We have sort of a policy right now where we're encouraged, and I say we because, you know, I'm talking about human resources, but the company, from a corporate standpoint, is encouraged to fucking hire minorities and women. They're encouraged to hire so. And it's a policy. And if you were to say that was a policy, say 30 years ago, you would kind of shuck it off like, oh, that's just PR for the fucking company. Behind the scenes, they're just going to hire the white guys. You know what I mean? If you were to tell me that white people are privileged in 2020, I would say you're wrong. And here's why I would say it. Because for the most part, society in a whole has recognized the mistakes of the past, right? They have. You have...
I would say society may have, but the powers that be, that doesn't matter to them.
Well, it depends on which powers you're talking about.
Our judicial system.
Yeah, I agree. But it also depends on what state you're in.
Okay, all right.
Because if you're in California and
That's
you're...
a country.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. We could say fucking Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
The governor...
An extension.
Yeah, the governor, the fucking mayor has fucking denounced the fucking actions of this fucking douchebag pig that fucking choked the fucking man out on the fucking streets on fucking live stream fucking social media fucking posts.
With a very smug look on his face.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit.
We all other people kneeling on him behind the car that you didn't see.
Oh, yeah.
With relaxed body language.
Oh, you mean the good cops?
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah, I know, man.
Right.
So he had his hand in his pocket.
Yeah, one of them did. Yeah.
And people say, so now, if you're in fear of this person, when I'm in fear, I don't have my hands in my pocket. I have them ready to go to try to protect myself, right? So, I mean, that says a lot, too. But to go back to what you were saying, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, and it's at what I feel like at some points as minorities, we sometimes bring it in ourselves, too, because of the way some minorities act. You know what I mean? It goes back even... I mean, I feel personally, and you might feel different about this, but it goes back even to the cops, because there's a couple bad black guys or a couple bad Mexican guys. Now everybody's going to be labeled the bad. You know what I'm saying?
You have watched Trailer Park Boys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the white family from Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's endemic, man.
But you see,
among human beings.
Okay, so you just brought that up. So the white family from West Virginia, they made a documentary about their chaos and
the amazing whites of West Virginia.
Yes, and all the illegal shit they're into and they do.
Yeah.
Dude, but it's okay, though. It's almost okay for them to do that. And it's like, let's make a documentary about this. So now, it's okay, though, right? But why is it okay? Because if you put a black guy or a Mexican guy in that, you switch that role, then it's like, oh, well, it's kind of what we expected.
The Tiger King was only white people. You know what I mean?
Hold
the
on.
Tiger King was only white people.
Yeah, and I say, going forward, we just blame everything on Carol fucking Baskin.
Carol fucking Baskin.
Carol fucking Baskin.
Yeah.
No, right? Economy's bad. Carol fucking Baskin.
But
you know what I mean? Hurricane just hit Florida. Fucking bitch, Carol Baskin.
You stop using your privilege. Brother Mijo wants to say something here.
No, I'm just,
Go ahead, Brother Mijo.
I'm just saying.
No, he's been dominating. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just saying, at one point, as minorities, too, we got to understand that we need to come together and act right and not do things that it feeds us shit, because again, there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of stupid shit and we all get labeled for it. And I personally, I hate it, to be honest, because a lot of people, I mean, it's fun to joke and shit like that, but it's like, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, that dude must be an MS-13. He's all tattooed and shit.
Right.
Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, I have a job. I go to work every day. I ride a motorcycle. I'm a motorcycle club.
Well, just like Vito, are you a blood or a Crip? You know?
Do you know what I mean?
And are you part of the Aryan youth? Or are you with the white supremacist Nazis?
Or the white nationalists.
So, no. I mean looking at dirty now, saying okay, you know, I mean white people. You know,
Right.
I'm just saying everything's a stereotype. You know, or potential for.
So, I mean, eventually we got to clean our act up too, and be like, you know what, we're going to act proper, and we're going to do as we should be doing, and just do it. Cause
let me unpack that though a little bit. In every group, you're going to have those people that are going to run amok, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Those people that do that are a small minority against the whole.
Yes.
So when you make that generalization, you're choosing to make that generalization, right?
Yeah.
Those people, the people who protect and serve, those generalizations, unfortunately, affect them right out the gate. I have witnessed this firsthand, so you guys know that I'm in school.
Oh.
So there's a class I took, it was called Urban Education.
Yeah.
And I'm a non-traditional student. I've had some life experiences. I'm older, right? So I see things. Where younger, I may not have saw those. I may have been too naive and just like, oh, well, he's a jerk. Not understanding, okay, why is he a particular jerk to this particular person? This young lady, she's a volunteer EMS or paramedic or something like that in Whitewater. And we started talking about like drugs and stuff and the impact and urban sex as opposed to rural sex and just all this stuff. And right away she goes on this rant, those people, blah, 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 you don't understand. They're all like that. They all pop pills. They all do this. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, this chick isn't even old enough to drink, and somehow she's already been duped to think those people, all of them.
You know, when people say fucking they and them and those and whatever,
Right.
I'm
Carol
like, who
Baskin.
the fuck are you? Carol Baskin. I'm like, who the fuck is they and them and who is they?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's a systematic thinking that those people become trapped in because of you put on this suit and you put on this badge and you do these jobs, and now, well, he feels that way and I don't want to feel too uncomfortable. I don't want to be the odd man out. I have to kind of go along with this too as well. That is something that we need to change amongst our protective services, period.
They need to be more accountable with each other.
Correct.
Call each other out on their shit. When I fuck up, I get called out on my shit.
Right.
Whether it be at work or here or anywhere else.
Can we apply that to our politicians, please?
Right. But it should be the same way with cops.
Right.
It should be like, dude, you were a little fucking rough. You need to fucking back off. And you know what? At some point, cops need to be like, this asshole here is going to put me in a real fucking bad situation. I'm going to get caught up in something. I don't have his ideology. And, dude, eventually they're going to have to go say, hey, this dude's not doing his shit right. But they're afraid to do that.
Yep.
Because
the thin blue line.
Yeah.
You know, gang mentality. You're one of us or you're one of them. After seeing that video,
Sorry.
immediately it dawned on me who I am.
Yeah.
And who other people may not be.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I sent that video out to everybody I know. And they responded, and my response was, if that was you, I need to let you know I'm willing to take that charge.
Right on.
I am willing to make sure you see tomorrow.
Yep.
And the response I got back, and you know, actually, you guys know probably a good half a dozen of them. That had been, you know, members or are members now. And it was I was so blessed to hear without a flinch, yep, vice versa. Or, hey, goddamn right. Or, you know, whatever. What's important for me now moving forward is it's not enough to have friends, okay? I need to know that if you see that my life is compromised, that you're going to do something, period. And I'm going to say this right now. If it was Tank, you, spent a little time with you, spent quite a bit of time with you, Mijo,
We just met.
we just met. But guess what? Even if we wasn't sitting here, see, I know who this guy is.
Right.
And I know who this guy is. And Mijo, if that was you, I'm pushing a cop off of you.
Right.
Period. Only because I would hate for someone to say, well, Vito was standing there. I would hate for someone to say, well, dude, why didn't you do something? At least call cops. Something, right? Yeah. I promise you this. And I'm going to say this to our listening audience.
All fucking 12 of them.
If I
13,
have...
we gained a new one this morning.
Fuck yeah, we got that insane throttle fucking biker bump.
Yeah.
If I have cheersed with you, if I have broke bread with you, if you have been to my home, if I have been to your home, best believe that goes without saying that if I was there, you might go to the hospital and I'm going to be sitting in jail. Because I promise you on my grandmother's eyes, there's no way in hell that happens on my watch. Zero. Much as I'm afraid of the cops, I am not afraid to flex a little bit, even knowing this is going to be a fucking shit show.
Yeah, and what I hear you saying is that it's not about what the law says. It's about what's right and what's wrong.
Morals.
Morals.
Well, but
that's the essence of a biker.
You saying that is very rare, because you know what society is so quick to do nowadays? Instead of helping each other out, whip that fucking phone out. You know why?
Right, man.
What would have happened? That dude was getting choked, and everybody was so fast to pull their phone out.
World star.
What would But what would have happened if just one of those persons would have put their phone down and gone over there and fucking?
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what would have happened.
Yeah, he would have got shot.
He would have got shot in the goddamn face, because we as a fucking society have given the fucking pigs too many goddamn fucking liberties to fucking do what they will to protect us, because we have traded fucking our liberty for fucking protection. So we have turned in our fucking freedom for fucking protection.
So now you look at getting, like you said, if somebody would have stepped in, they would have got shot.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody was bound to get hurt that day regardless. So it's almost like this was going to happen either way almost. You know what I'm saying? Like this is meant to happen for a reason, I feel like.
Sometimes violence is necessary.
Yeah.
I am going to tell you what a woman told me who loves me dearly. She said, Vito, you know what sucks about loving you?
Nope.
It
sounds like a song. Vito, do you know what sucks about loving you?
It's like an old country song.
Right.
She said that I never will worry about you being in that position. You're too smart, too savvy to be in that position, whether you're going to talk your way out of it or you're just going to avoid it altogether.
Yep.
She said, what I'm worried about is someone else being in that position and you doing something about it. She said, and that's what worries me. And I told her, I said, good, because I promise you.
What's up, brother?
I have to do something. I just have to. It is part of who I am. It's part of where I've been raised. It's part of the people, the kinds of people that I hang out with, in front of and behind the curtain. It's just not going to happen on my watch. Period.
Right on.
And at that point, I don't give a shit. As long as my grandma's taken care of, as long as my loved ones are taken care of, and as long as someone can go get my dog and take care of my dog.
Dogs are people too.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to go into action right away. Period. So.
Well, I mean, we really went down quite a philosophical road here, didn't we?
Well, I mean, that's what this fucking episode's about, man. It's about fucking. Look, this podcast was always fucking meant to be something for real bikers or real motorcycle enthusiasts to fucking have their say. You know,
Gold Wingers.
And we live on.
I'm kidding. They have their say too.
You know, I mean, even Gold Wingers, man. It's like, look, society, mainstream media have stepped on people's dicks long enough. You know what I mean? This fucking podcast, this fucking, thing that we're fucking doing is not produced. There's no fucking
Obviously.
corporate entity behind it. You know what I mean? You know, this is just our fucking opinions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I don't give a flying fuck what fucking anybody thinks about what the fuck I say right now. You know what I mean? I don't give a flying fuck if somebody has a problem with what the fuck's coming out of my goddamn mouth. You know what I mean? Because I have fucking sat and watched this fucking society fucking turn in its rights for fucking safety and for, you know, security or whatever the fuck. You want to talk about the Patriot Act? Absolutely. You want to talk about fucking the finest scotch ever. If you want to talk about fucking, you know, where we are as a fucking people, okay, this is where the fuck we are, okay? It's about the haves and the has fucking nots. Color don't fucking matter anymore. The only fucking color that goddamn matters is fucking green. Are you rich? Do you have money? Do you have privilege? Because you know what? White privilege isn't a thing these days. It might have been back in the day. It sure enough fucking anymore. You know what is a fucking privilege? Money. Do you have credit? Do you have fucking a 401k that's doing very well in this current state? You know what I mean? And I'll tell you why. Because I fucking put on dirty-ass fucking blue jeans every goddamn day. And I work my fucking ass off 60-plus fucking hours a week just so I can fucking have a house and a fucking motorcycle.
And wait a week and a half for the specific tools so you can get your bike fixed.
Exactly. Yeah. No shit. This goddamn fucking virus has got me waiting for fucking every goddamn thing.
Right?
Me too.
Fuck.
Me too. All right, listen. So if you don't think white privilege is a thing, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How do you explain then the young man that got shot in Georgia, and it took, what, 2 months, month and a half, for them finally to arrest father, son, and the man that was taking the video?
You talking about that fucking...
The
You're
jogger.
talking about the... Yeah, the jogger. Okay.
Right. How do you explain that then?
Why it doesn't exist?
If you think it doesn't exist, then how
Well,
do you explain that?
Well, they got arrested.
Well, they did not get arrested on the spot or very soon afterwards.
It wasn't the fact that they were white, though. It was the fact that it was the Good Old Boy Network that was going at play right there.
Right. Okay.
And if you
Well,
take,
here's-
take the color out of it, and it's the same thing.
Well,
You
no,
they, they were getting away with something.
I've never been able to take advantage of the good old boy.
but hold on.
Neither have I.
Hold on, but in that aspect, also, it's hard to sit back and know that somebody got killed and that person hasn't been arrested. But I feel like in that aspect, you kind of got to let shit roll and let that get figured out under the investigation and stuff. Because I feel like you don't want them to rush and miss a technicality, and then the asshole gets off free.
Mio,
Do you know what I'm saying?
How do you miss a technicality of two people shooting a man jogging down the street in which they ambushed him? The young man tried to dart and run around the truck. Somebody was waiting in front of the truck with a gun, and he tried to disarm the man and run away. How do you
I'll tell you
justify that?
exactly how it happens. Because that whole issue turned into a Second Amendment rights issue. And you have to understand that everybody in power in this country, America, the only country that fucking matters, by the way. Anyways, in America, we're ruled by politicians. They're elected officials, okay? So let's say you have, a father-son team that's shooting down somebody, right? And they can claim that they were doing it within their right as free citizens and, they were bearing arms and they were protecting their property and their family and blah, blah, blah. Which I 100% fucking stand behind. Mm-hmm. I 100% believe that American citizens should be able to have the right to protect themselves, their families, and their property. Mm-hmm. I 100% believe that. And when you have a case where it looks like you have two Americans protecting their own with firearms, you have to be cautious. If you're a politician in a part of the country that is very right-leaning, that is very pro-Second Amendment, because the last thing you want to do is look anti that. Because every politician in this fucking country only has one job, and that's to get elected
And reelected.
and reelected.
That's right.
That's it. So they have to be very cautious on who they prosecute and who they deem as evil. Okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because when we look at social climates, right? We look at a fucking white cop strangling or suffocating a black man while he's in handcuffs on the ground. The reason why that turns into
Three cops.
Well, 4.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well,
because that fucking fucking Asian cop that was just standing there with his fucking hands in his pocket, fuck that guy.
That guy's a future meme for the rest of his life, man.
Exactly. You know, you're going to fucking watch somebody get fucking killed, and you're just going to stand there with a dumb fucking look on your face.
Fucking look on his face.
And how does that not make you an accessory?
It does.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's complicity. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here at a fucking clubhouse, right, and you fucking start beating a guy to death, and I just fucking stand there with a dumb look on my fucking face, I just became part of a fucking crime.
But here again, like Vito said, if the cops came down here today, they wouldn't be telling me, "Hey, just go home until we figure this out." I'd be taking a ride right away.
Well, let's be fucking honest.
Now I get what you're saying. They waited.
Exactly.
If you kill somebody, even they ain't gonna wait. They're taking your ass to jail right away.
Well, that's just my point.
Yeah.
It's because it's all about the media spin. Yeah. It's all about what it looks like politically. Because power in this country, in America, is given by votes. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be voted into power in this country. And that's a good thing, by the way. You know, the last thing I want is a fucking monarchy that's a fucking king and, you know.
Isn't that a butterfly? I'm just kidding.
What?
Never mind. So isn't that a butterfly? You got it.
I said monarchy.
Yeah, wordplay. He was wordplay. Yeah. Wordplay.
Yeah, I know.
The Scotch has got him.
A little bit. Shut up. Fuck you. It's good.
Hey, it's our show. Fuck you.
Yeah. I have a microphone. But,
and finish your thought, because I have a follow-up question to that.
Fucking railroaded me. But,
wow.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
but,
right.
gets on the train. But, no, my point is, political parties, right? Politicians have a platform, and they have an agenda, right? Why did those two white good old boys fucking, you know, not get prosecuted right away? Is because it looked like it could be used against the powers that be, right? If you say, well, you can't shoot somebody that's fucking breaking into your home or causing a ruckus in your property, then that's bad for them. Because in the southern part of this fucking country, Second Amendment rights and the ability to defend yourself is considered an essential thing, which I 100% stand behind, right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're here in Wisconsin, in the northern part of the country, right? And Wisconsin is kind of like Texas North, right? You can't smoke weed, but you can shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Because like I can... Yeah, I got a card in my pocket that says I can conceal carry, you know what I mean? But I want to tell you this right now. Like, there's riots in fucking Milwaukee over this whole deal that's going on in Minneapolis.
And not the first time either.
No.
A couple years back when that one guy got shot.
Yep.
That was...
Woof.
And 100%. And I agree with every bit of it. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't give a fuck what your cause is. You come at my house looking to fucking throw bricks through my window, you're going to get a fucking 5.56 round in your fucking face, dude. Straight up. Because I don't give a fuck.
All right.
You know what I mean?
So if you don't think white privilege doesn't exist, then what about the woman in Central Park who, when she went to go call the cops, made it clear, you're a black man, I'm going to call the cops. And in speaking to the cop,
it was with the dog.
Made it very clear,
he
there is a black man here.
Oh, yeah, that was wrong.
That blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
If you don't think white privilege doesn't exist, then how does this woman know that I can invoke a response with emergency protective services?
Why couldn't she have just said there's a man here?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they have to label all the time.
Right, exactly. That if I was to say this, then the response might be perceived different and help will be on its way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you don't think white privilege doesn't exist, then what about now how news outlets are now reporting on all these crimes as of the recent month? There was a lady who said that she had been kidnapped by black men and killed, or kidnapped by black men and her son was killed.
Sounds
Come to
like a
find
porno.
out, wait, come to find out, she killed her own son.
Damn.
Okay, now another one. Okay, if you don't think this exists, how another man had said that he had been kidnapped by black men, and come to find out he was trying to divert attention from himself because he was a child molester. These are very recent things, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, when people say that, then I like to ask that question, right? Then how do people know that if I say, well, a black person, you know what? History, Rosewood, the story of Rosewood.
Oh, it's an amazing,
The story of Rosewood.
Yeah.
tragic story.
Right. This white woman having an affair with another well-to-do white man in town, right? The man doesn't want nothing to do with her, smacks her around a little bit, and then she knows to say, a black man did it. A black man did it.
You're talking
Rosewood.
Rosewood. She was having an affair with another white dude,
Right.
And she blamed it on a black man that she had that altercation with in the community.
Right.
Yeah.
And it turned the whole
Exactly.
upside down. Women, children, hardworking Americans died for nothing.
Yeah.
So, if you don't think it exists, then why do then people, and I hate to make the generalization say all people, but why do people know then, hey, if I can say some Mexican is at my house and blah, 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 and this is going on, why do I know that that's going to invoke a different response from the people that are coming to help me? Period.
Okay, if I can say something that I'd just like to add my little bit to it. And you talk about with the racism, and there are obviously racism does exist. Racism is fomented within the media. It's also going to be fomented and continued to propagate if we continue to make it an issue. Now, when we start to talk about and cherry pick shootings and crimes that go across this country, and if we're going to strictly cherry pick black on white crimes, white on black crimes, and we are doing a tremendous injustice to the news itself, because there are cases from across America. Why do they cherry pick those specifically? Now, I'm going to say that, I got to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to say this before I get up, and that's this. George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin was a tragedy. The only reason that saw the light of day is because the media immediately, the people that reported it and made it a thing, saw the last name of Zimmerman and said that he is probably white and Jewish, but he was Mexican. And once that happened, it was like this dawning moment of, oh, fuck, what did we do? By then, social media, everything had overtaken the whole situation.
Hold on. Was he Mexican?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
Yes.
Like Mexican?
I
Or
just
like,
looked it up on the... I just, you
I thought he was
Googleized
Mexican
it.
and white.
White,
I
but
mean, it doesn't make a
Doesn't
difference.
make a
Either
difference.
way,
Yeah.
they pounced on the name.
Right.
And so as long as we can continue as a society to foment this issue of racism when it doesn't need to exist, if we continue to give it life, it will live.
Yeah, you're fueling it. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Thanks, gotta pee.
Thanks.
I'm old, man. I'm near a bathroom. I got to go.
Prostate's as big as a fucking goddamn grapefruit.
Yeah, no, this, you know, if you don't think it's white privilege, okay, fine. But something exists
Well,
that
what
people know that they can take advantage of.
Well, what it is like, you know, when you talk about like you talk about white privilege, and look, if white people say, you know, well, there's a black guy, or there's a Mexican, or there's, you know, whatever, you know, in my driveway causing trouble, we know that, okay, it's no goddamn secret that white people are afraid of losing ground. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obama became president, and all of a sudden the Tea Party fucking sprung up and started talking about, we need to take our country back. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? So there is that fucking level of racism where we don't want any other fucking race to become, like, more empowered than us.
Why is that, though?
Why is that?
Why is it not okay?
What do you mean?
Like, why? If we're all Americans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
why is it okay for Mexican Americans to be the top race or African Americans to be the top? Why? What's the fear behind that? We're all Americans, right?
Well, first of all, I understand what you're saying, but I kind of can't answer that because I don't feel that way. You know what I mean?
You don't?
I don't. I see Americans as Americans.
That's what I'm saying. So you see Americans. So what's the fear? We're all Americans.
No, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume that most people that would be offended by a Hispanic or a African American becoming empowered, right? Most people that would fear that feel that America as we know it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Most people that feel that America as we know it is white-based, European-based, right? Christopher Columbus and blah, 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 and English and whatever, right? We feel like, or I don't say we because I'm white, but I feel weird by saying that. But you know what I mean? Like white people feel like... I represent all white people on this podcast. But, you know,
generalize again. There we go.
I
can say my people. It's okay. I won't be offended.
Yeah, all my people. Yeah, all the whiteys. You know, but I feel like the reason why people freak out whenever a minority, whether it be black, white, or Asian, fucking come into power, is because. America in 1776, was forming. I was the only one that saluted.
Actually, your hat was still on, brother.
I can't take it off. I had to take my headphones off, and that's against the fucking
America,
rules of podcasting.
You want to roll.
Yeah. No. Fuck, lost my train of thought.
Nah, America 1776.
What I'm saying is that white America, okay, and coming from that demographic, I can speak on it, so it's
Your
okay.
Best
I can,
white, so you can say that,
dude. I can say honky, you can't.
Right.
But that's almost. We're going to talk about that actually once you're done.
We can't hear Jimmy.
We are going to talk about that once you're done. I actually got it.
You can listen to him, but you can't hear him. Okay, Wesley. Yeah.
Did you just make a fucking white man can't jump?
I love that movie, man. I love that movie. Wesley Snipes. It's a great movie. Yeah. Having been, I'm older than you guys. You had mentioned 50 years ago. You think we're better off than we were 50 years ago?
Absolutely.
I agree completely.
Dude, this country is
how have we progressed racially?
May I say
okay,
something?
no, hold on.
May I say something?
No. How do you fucking say that we're not?
I'm going to turn his microphone off.
Because if we, how can I say?
Actually, good point.
How can I say we haven't? Because racism is very alive.
Okay, hold on.
Very true.
What's 50 years? What's 50 years? 50 years ago from now?
2070? Or are you going backwards?
2070? No,
50
years ago.
I'll go. Okay, I'll go.
You're cut off. 50 years ago from right now.
Yep.
What year is that?
1970.
No, it's not.
60 something.
Yeah.
1960.
50 years ago?
1960.
70, yeah, 1970. He's right.
No,
It's 1960.
1970.
No,
It's
he's right.
1960.
No, I was born in
Yeah.
62. I'm 57 fucking years old.
There you go.
Isn't 1970?
1970.
God damn it.
You're old.
I was using the new math on that one. But
Fuck you, Carol Baskin.
okay, fine.
God damn it.
Carol goddamn Baskin. 1970, right?
All right.
What was happening in 1970?
I don't know. I was
can
still in
tell
my
you, I
dad's
was
nutsack
alive.
waiting
I
to
was
come out.
alive.
I don't know.
What was happening, Tank?
I traveled the South. I was down south in 67, 68. I remember going I remember white-only restaurants. I remember water fountains that were white-only.
Right.
I remember restaurants where the sections of town where the black people went. I remember not necessarily questioning it. I questioned it from a human standpoint because I didn't understand it.
Right.
Because that was the societal norm at that point in time.
So do you think now, because we're not segregated, now we've advanced, son? That's our
Yes.
For real?
Yes,
No.
absolutely. No. I'm not saying shit's fucking perfect. I'm saying is we're advancing. Things are better. How about this? the fact that we have a fucking black man, a Hispanic American, and 2 whites having a conversation about racism on a fucking thing that is in the air that's called the internet, that's advancement. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a different. That's technology.
No, it's not just technology. The fact that I can sit here and talk to you as a fucking equal is a fucking advancement.
But okay, hold on. You said that you.
Yes.
Yes.
You.
Right.
You're a different type of person.
Right. Not.
It's my podcast.
This is not, right. Okay. Right. This is not.
Amen, brother.
Your mentality is different than most people. Most
Correct.
people don't think like you do.
You fucking start a goddamn
even you
podcast, I'll come on your podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my podcast.
Right.
This has nothing to do with race.
But I'm just saying, like, the way you think, the way that you treat people, the way that you treat people, your mentality and all that, that's actually very rare, dude. Like, you're a solid guy. You're very acceptant towards a lot. You're very open-minded, and that's very rare.
And still true to his.
It is.
it's
credo.
not very rare, though.
It is. There's so many closed-minded people out there. Dude.
Yeah, but
so
there's
many closed-minded.
But in the biker community, it's like we talk about segregation, like we talk about motorcycle clubs,
Kind of like the
whatever.
post that I posted up yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, MC whatever. But you talk about segregation, you talk about fucking what's going on in the biker community as far as segregation, dude. Those fucking lines are being fucking erased.
But there's still racism there.
I wouldn't say
Not
they're
really.
being erased. I would say they're being smudged. Those lines still exist. They're being
Smudged. That's a good
Yeah,
word.
They're
Smudged
not
is a
erased.
good word.
They're being smudged.
Blurred.
But like I said, I guess in the scene or culture, whatever you want to call it, it's expected because when MC life or motorcycle life really it evolved again, like I stated, it was in the 50s and the 60s. Things were a lot different then. So now a lot of these clubs and organizations that they got these a lot of old school guys, dude. They still have that racial mentality because that was their environment then. You know what I mean?
I
mean, things are gonna. First of all, let's take a fucking moment here to fucking talk about how the fact that we're on Spotify now. And
With Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's on Spotify exclusively. What is it, like a couple months from now? And we're 100% on all podcast fucking based platforms. Anchor, Breaker.
What's that? Radio.
Google Play.
Yeah. Radio.
Doesn't matter. The point is,
bunch of them.
Look for us on your podcast platforms. And if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome.
Yeah.
But
no shit.
But like you were saying, Mijo, were you paying attention?
Yeah.
God damn it. But I hear what you're saying, but like in 2020, like race isn't that much of an issue society-wise. And when I say that because like there's woke culture. You know what I mean? Like I can't drop an N-bomb and expect not to be deplatformed.
Right.
Okay? That wasn't a thing back, whatever. You could be racist and open and nobody would say shit about it.
But I think that's what makes it worse is that you can hide it and you don't know who is the racist and who's not.
How can you hide anything these days?
You don't know if. But I'm just saying, you don't know if the cop that pulled you over is racist. You don't know if your doctor's racist. Fuck, for all you know don't know if your lawyer's racist because now they hide behind it. Right. It was almost better when it was open. So I
think you just fucking hit the nail right on the goddamn
So that way
head.
you knew, you know what? Don't fuck with that dude because he don't like me.
And this is why. And this is
a lot more straightforward, wasn't it?
Yeah. And this is why I have
understood.
you two fucking people on this fucking podcast right goddamn now. Okay? Because when you said you can't hide it, I instantly fucking recognize what you just said. And I need to shut my fucking mouth. And I need to let you and Vito fucking talk. Because the fact that even in 2020, even when we're deplatforming people for using the wrong word.
Or Jimmy Fallon for being blackface, imitating Chris
What
Rock.
about Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Joe Biden. It says if you don't vote for him, you ain't black enough.
The
Right?
Jimmy Fallon thing. What's so sad about the Jimmy Fallon thing is that, listen, that was a script that was written. That was a young man who just went along with it, not thinking. Why? Because he idolizes Chris Rock. Chris Rock was on a way bigger platform than he was. Actually, I came from the platform in which he took a seat at, which was SNL. Right?
Yeah.
And then now, all these years later, now it's like, well, hey, wait a minute, you did this particular thing. And now, 2020, hey, you know, we're asking you to be accountable for that. Well, let's go back to that. He didn't write that skit. He didn't okay that skit to be out, right?
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels did that.
He was doing his job.
Yeah, exactly, right?
We could talk about fucking Kevin Hart, who got fucking banned from the Oscars?
Yep.
For making a joke about his son having a dollhouse.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
My point is this, like, everybody's under a fucking microscope.
Yep.
Right? I'm a biker. Right? If you're listening to this, you know what I mean? Like, if you're listening to this, like, I don't give a flying fuck if you agree with what I'm saying. I don't care. You know, I'm doing this for my own fucking enjoyment.
It's actually therapeutic.
It is.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
It is
March
for me.
goddamn 30th. There is fucking riots happening across the goddamn country about a fucking stupid-ass fucking pig.
May 30th. May 30th.
That's what I said.
You said March.
March.
Did I say March?
Yeah, it's an M word.
It's a goddamn...
You're close.
I said Andrew Jackson one time on the show, you know, and I meant
The whiskey has fucking
you-
controlled this podcast from
You know,
Judge
Andrew
Street.
Johnson.
I do want to say something. Do you know what's?
A white man is talking!
Oh, that's
Do you want to know what's enjoyable?
Dirty just broke the equipment.
Do you know know
I
what?
don't even care.
Do you know what's
Carol
enjoyable?
fucking Baskin.
Carol.
Do you know what's enjoyable besides the spoons and the cigars? Is that we can, in today's age, have a controversial conversation amongst men here, and we can agree to disagree. And at the end of the day, we are who we are, and we walk away, and we're all friends, and we. It's that.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
You talked about having the solution to what's going on now. Just fucking get along, respect each other.
Right.
Rodney King said it best, man.
it's rather
Can't we
simple.
all just get along? And he was right.
Shut up!
But now, with that being said, though...
Whoop.
Oh, go ahead.
Vito's going to talk.
No, go ahead.
No, I was
Okay.
literally shutting out all these people.
He was playing referee.
I was playing all these people so you could talk. Go
Penalty,
ahead.
10 yards.
We're just gonna start calling you the angry white guy.
With that
I'm
being
so
said,
angry.
though, that exists here
Okay,
in
Peter.
this drop.
Shush!
That can happen here in
Yeah.
this drop of a bucket in the fabric of everything going on around us. Okay? How do we get that to flip on the other way? Right?
What do you mean?
Like, that happens here amongst us, right?
Yeah.
We go outside, let's go find another place that can happen.
Live it.
Right.
I think it can happen.
Be it.
How do we spread that then, where now it's the inverse of that?
Social media. These podcasts, these things that we're fucking putting out there in the fucking ether. Like, we have two white guys interviewing a Hispanic American.
We're going to get excoriated for this, by the way, but we
I
don't
don't give a
fucking
fuck.
care. I don't care either.
All 12 of our fans.
13.
We have, yeah, exactly. We have two white guys talking to a Hispanic American and an African American.
Black American.
Black American.
Black American.
I don't see color.
Black
I don't see
American.
color.
Right.
Okay,
But-
you know that statement you just
My
said.
sister's African American.
What?
That statement you just said.
Dad is
Yeah.
Nigerian.
What did I just
Hold
say?
on. You don't see color.
It was a joke.
No, I know, but a lot of people like to use that. I'm not racist. I don't see color.
I see color all the time.
But no, I'm just saying a lot of people use that. A lot of people use that line.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I
Yeah.
don't see color.
I hear you.
And it's like they use that line, and it's more than likely sometimes those people hang around with other people that make racial comments or racial jokes or whatever, and it's like they kind of brush it off, you know, like, oh, it's okay, dude. Those people are racist, and you know why they're racist?
No.
Because the only way you can't be a racist is to be an anti-racist, and in those situations where people make comments like that,
Wait, what?
the only way to not be a racist is be an anti-racist, and the only
Wait.
way,
What did you just say?
the only way to not be a racist is to be
Yes.
an anti-racist, and an anti-racist in that situation would say to that person, you know what you're saying is not cool, and I don't agree with that. and they would go on their own way. But a lot of people brush this shit off, and it makes it okay for people to be like that.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
It does.
It does.
It does. Yeah. And so a lot of people use that saying, and when it comes across, it's like, I don't see color. I'm not racist. It's like, but if you hear somebody crack a racist joke, you're not going to correct them on it. So it just makes you just as you're not holding that other person accountable for that.
So what you're saying is that if, like, okay, me being a white guy,
Right.
which I'm white, by the way, if you're a white guy,
He is interesting.
if you're a white guy, and one of your fellow white guys' friends makes a fucking racist comment, you're saying I'm racist if I don't correct him on his racistness.
I'm not necessarily saying you're racist, but it's... Oh, man, now I got myself in a fucking...
It's part of the problem.
It's part of the problem.
It's part of the problem.
No.
Hashtag me too,
Yeah.
right? Look.
But again, in the way we live our lives here, we live our lives how we want to, and we're not about to tell somebody what you can and can't say, because you know what? We don't want people telling us that us.
Well, because we're free
Either.
Americans. Right?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, I choked for a second.
like we can sit
Free,
here and
yeah.
fucking have this conversation and fucking talk about race, and we can put it on the internet, and nobody's gonna fucking step on our dicks for doing so because we're free.
Right.
Right? Because we're fucking in a country that allows us to speak our minds. Because the First Amendment's a goddamn thing. Right?
Yep.
And I'm using this platform, however small it is, to fucking put it out there that this thing that's happening right now in this country, you know, May 30th, you know, where there's riots or protests fucking happening all over the country about fucking some stupid goddamn pig that fucking killed a man in fucking Minneapolis. Like, I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter what color you are. It matters about being an American and being snuffed out because some authority figure deemed you
Less than.
a criminal,
Right.
deemed you a slight on society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Agree 100%.
I'm a biker.
Yeah.
Right? I ride a two-wheel death machine. I cross state lines. I'm sitting here with 3 of my fucking club brothers. I got another club brother behind the bar who's stalking, growing our podcast, making noise. And I got another fucking club brother who is Pops, who is passed out on the couch.
Little faux pas there.
Look for the next episode of The Biker's Lifestyle, by the way, where we talk to him. We're all equals here in a sense where even though this is our clubhouse and we hold ourselves at a higher standard than the rest of society because we have to be a higher standard. Because this club that Brother Tank, Brother Mijo are in, we take it upon ourselves to better our community.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't give a flying fuck what color you are. If you need help, we will help you.
We're not even looking for the press to come and you
No.
know,
Fuck no, because
we
the
know,
press
we
ain't
know
gonna.
we did. We don't need anybody else to care.
Because the press ain't gonna fucking give us any goddamn airplay because fucking motorcycle clubs doing fucking righteous things isn't fucking headlines.
Yeah.
Motorcycle clubs fucking getting busted for fucking dumb shit
doesn't
is
make-
headlines.
that makes news. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, you made the statement that we're all equals here.
Right.
And that's the only place we're all equals here, because out in society, we're not.
It depends on what society you're looking at.
Well, yeah, that does too, yes.
Because the world fucking looks different through
Other
different
people's lives.
lenses.
Yeah, and you're
you know
right.
what I mean? Like if you're a white dude, you might be like, yeah, America's going really great. If you're African American, you might see a problem. If you're Hispanic, you might see a problem. Me as a white American, I might not see a problem. Right? I might not understand why some fucking guy who is screaming about building a wall is a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I might not understand that.
Do you think even saying it in itself is white privilege?
Well, white privilege is literally just a point of view.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to go ahead and say that again.
Yeah, I really didn't. Yeah.
Do you think that you could, by you being able to afford to say everything you just did, that in itself is white privilege?
No,
Okay.
it's a point of view.
Okay.
Because privilege, like, well, I mean, by definition means that I have something over other people.
Say something right now.
You got something that's fucking bubbling up?
I do.
Say it.
Well, I'm going to say this real quick, and then we're going to let Brother Tank speak because privilege. But no.
Brought to you by our friends at Privilege.
Brought to you by White Privilege.
So, not to I get what white privilege is, but I don't fully understand it. I guess my mentality is that you guys, here I am being racist.
Why are you dividing us, Mijo?
But does that mean that like white people have it easier than we do? Was that kind of what that states?
No. What I view white privilege as is that being white means that you're not judged by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character.
See, in a way, I think that's kind of bullshit because I've met people, obviously, that are white, and that, dude, they have the same everyday fucking struggles that I do or as a black person does.
Right.
So to lump by us saying white privilege, we're not doing any better than. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
We're not doing any better.
Here it fucking comes. God.
Here it comes.
Let her rip.
I didn't ask to be born white.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask to be born in the family I was in. I didn't ask to be born in fucking Rockford, fucking Illinois. Right. All right. I didn't ask for any of that. It was all given to me. I didn't own a slave. I don't do bad things to people. I was raised in a fucking family that worked towards doing something for others. My mom headed the March of Dimes. I walked all over the motherfucking place raising money for things.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the Befrienders International, Samaritans USA. My mom helped start that.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was the president of Befrienders International, helping people that were hurting and suicidal. My parents started a group, Neighborhood Falmouth, where they had an advocacy group for senior citizens. And not once did race come in there at all. Not once did my white privilege want to play any bit of it. I'm not fucking privileged at all, goddammit. I'm fucking tired of hearing of this white fucking privilege goddamn bullshit. Because it fucking hasn't affected me. Because it's been the same fucking struggle for me. I worked for every goddamn thing that I've brought into this fucking world. And I didn't have nothing given to me, and I've been to fucking prison. Yeah, jail. No, I got out on the prison part, but I struggled too. And so I'm not saying that as a testimony to you guys because you just supported what I said. And we just hit right upon the nails that if we can continue to call it that there's a white privilege, and that's bad connotation because there's a lot of white people that aren't privileged. And I'm one of them.
Yeah, no, and I
I feel better now.
But
very well said.
Yeah, I mean, I guess our views are kind of clouded too. You know what I'm saying? We think they have it easy because they're white. Do they really have it easy though?
Listen, I don't think Tank has it easy. I don't think Dirty has it easy.
Okay.
Right. Here's my thought to that. I know that if you look at it statistically, okay. In a judicial system, because pretty much this is what this is going to come down to.
Yeah. Right on.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
You're right.
Statistically, we cannot argue the numbers. They are out there. We can quantify them. We can see them. Okay? Statistically, it's out there. Right? We can even see some examples of this, of how some well-to-do rich white kid can rape a white woman, drag her behind a dumpster.
But he was a really good swimmer.
He was a great
swimmer.
Get
caught by his white counterparts.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's not held to the extent of the law as maybe Tank you might be, or maybe you might be.
Right.
But something played in that the judge thought that by me sending him to prison, it would ruin his life.
Yeah.
You committed a felony. Your life should be ruined.
But what you just said proves my point that I made earlier.
Okay.
It's not about color. It's about the haves and the have-nots.
Okay.
But,
you know what I mean?
But now take that example he used right now. Put a black person or a Mexican person in that situation.
Kobe Bryant.
Guess what?
Kobe fucking Bryant.
Guess what? good swimmer or not, we're going to jail.
Kobe goddamn
While
Bryant.
we're waiting for our truck.
Kobe Bryant was accused of fucking rape back in the day. Okay? Whether or not he did it, doesn't fucking matter. He was literally fucking acquitted because of the fact that he is a professional athlete, a positive role model, and he was fucking rich.
Money privilege.
That is what my whole point has been this whole fucking podcast. It's not about fucking color these days. It's about the haves and the have-nots, okay? Every fucking cracker-ass motherfucker has been watching fucking, The Last Dance on fucking whatever platform you want to watch The Last Dance on, whether it's ESPN or Netflix or whatever, right? About the fucking 98 Chicago fucking Bulls and Michael goddamn Jordan, who was literally the best fucking basketball player to ever fucking dribble a goddamn basketball. And it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what fucking, thing you want to fucking identify as. It matters about the fact that he was the best basketball player ever. And he was a fucking god in this country. If you were a sports fan in any respect. You know what I mean? Like, color doesn't fucking matter if people fucking respect you for this outstanding fucking ability you fucking have. The fact that I can fucking say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, blah, 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 and people are like, yeah, I know who that is. They're fucking good people. You don't fucking realize that, you get all these fucking Peckerwoods that are fucking hardcore sports fans in the deep fucking South that fucking drop N-bombs when they're fucking, they're in, at home, that color isn't a fucking choice.
All right, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Okay. How many Michael Jordans are there?
One.
Great.
Yep. I'm from Chicago, so I love Michael Jordan. So go ahead.
Now, you had said that because... listen. You offend me by asking me. Please help me.
Sorry that I'm.
Can I see
Hold on. Sorry that I'm putting. Sorry that I'm putting a little water in it.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not
It's
trying to
fine.
fuck up.
Mexicans can't have their alcohol. What?
All right. So listen, we're speaking of only one Michael Jordan. Okay.
Yes.
And you had said, he was this great thing, this great entity of basketball.
By the way, Michael Jordan is a motorcycle enthusiast, if you didn't know.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
He has a Suzuki race team, and
Did not know that.
he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Google it.
So
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're speaking
I interrupted
of
you. I'm sorry.
one person that's way outside the bill curve. Okay.
He's at the peak.
An outlier. That they would call that an outlier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The man.
What we want to talk about and address are all the people who may not had nothing special to contribute, just being a working stiff.
Yeah.
Because that Floyd character, for people who didn't know it, was just that, a working stiff.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Chauvin and Floyd, unbeknownst to the rest of us, had both been security guards at the same nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I read that just the other day.
And they say that Floyd, they interviewed a guy and they said that Floyd was about, there's such a gang problem where they were that Floyd was the only one that could go from one gang neighborhood to another gang neighborhood, and he had respect out of all people because he was out there doing good things for the community.
Now, I'm gonna say this real quick.
Wait, hold on, because
we don't know
I
if
want to
that's
finish
true.
my thought. I want to finish my thought.
Okay, please.
So we're talking about one person, okay? But let's make sure that we keep this on topic about all the rest of us that are underneath that bill curve, okay? Who may not have those accolades to contribute,
Yes.
right? Okay? Those people underneath that bell curve, we are susceptible to these societal ills, all right? Okay?
Yes.
Kobe Bryant may not have been acceptable to that because of his money, who he was, whatever, right?
Rest in peace.
Fine. But neither was let's say O.J. Simpson, right? Okay. Neither was quite a few others, right? So that's fine for them if we want to talk about them and those particular people. But let's talk about us, okay? Everyday, regular fucking folks, right? Unfortunately, we are under the gun and under the microscope and open for those judgments and interpretations beyond the extent of the law, period. All right? So I get your point what you say about Jordan. I get your point what you say about Kobe. I get your point about what you say about anyone else. But unfortunately, those things don't apply to us, period. I know for a fact, could I be treated differently if I was the stereotype? Sure, I know that, okay? But because I'm not, I know I get treated differently, you know? I do. And so we have to be careful when we make those kinds of comparisons, because at that point, you're not comparing apples to apples, you're comparing apples to oranges, actually, all right? So, yeah, like, Dirty, I hear what you're saying, but some of that just does not apply to the George Floyds, to the young man that got shot in Georgia, to the man who was looking at a home that he was about to flip, that he was going to make an offer at an auction, which you can walk up to homes, look through windows, whatever, and the lady called the cops on him, he was arrested, and the city had to write this man $150,000 check for unlawfully arresting him and everything. Come to find out, not only did he make an offer on the home, but he ended up eventually owning the home that he flipped. Right? So yeah, like all those examples are great, but they do not apply to the everyday man, bikers.
Yep.
Right? So we have to be careful on how we make those comparisons, that we are making the comparisons that are relative to us and our everyday living and our brothers and our sisters and so on and so forth.
Human beings are fucking complicated.
Yes, we are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous that we have to fucking have this same fucking argument about race and about fucking privilege.
So how do you think it's getting better if we're still making this argument then?
Well, because we are making strides in the right direction.
Okay, strides. Strides, yes. Are
Right.
we better? No. Because if you asked a child
Yeah.
who's grown up in these times, right,
Okay.
seeing these things for their first time,
Sure.
if you were to ask them, would you believe that we had a civil rights era? And then explain to them and have them and explain to them and unpack it for them what that meant, right? They wouldn't believe it or even attempt to try to connect the dots. And how are we here then? Okay?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can
If you-
actually talk about this better than anybody sitting at this goddamn table because I live with a 10-year-old.
Did you try to explain to him?
Yes.
Ooh, let's hear this.
Because, yeah, you know, here's what you have to understand. Like, 10-year-olds and, you know, kids of this era are on the internet.
Mhm.
And they can see everything we can see.
Correct.
In fact, they can see more because they understand and accept certain platforms that we don't.
It is their language.
And I'm sitting here talking to this fucking 10-year-old who he's innocent. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a racist bone in his body. He doesn't understand why there is such social fucking unrest. He doesn't get it. So it's so hard to fucking talk about this because it's trying to put this in terms that everybody can understand. Like, if you have a fucking 10-year-old who can't go to school because of a fucking coronavirus and trying to explain to him, well, there's this virus and blah, 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 all he cares about is, oh, I don't have to go to school anymore? That's awesome.
Nope.
You know? And then he sees things like on TikTok or whatever fucking, you know, social media type platform he happens to run across on the fucking internet, which is almost impossible to keep them from, about, you know, riots or, you know, protests or whatever, and trying to explain to him, well, you know, people are mad because, you know, a police officer killed a person of color. He has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Because to him, people are people, and no matter what color your skin is, you're a person, and you're all equal.
But he's also been raised in a household that doesn't practice racism. So to him, people are people.
Right.
Now take kids that are raised in households where people are dropping the N-bomb and doing things like that, dude, that's a learned habit then at that point.
But here's the thing, that you can't change that.
No, you can't.
Because people are going to raise their kids how they see fit. And that's on a personal level, right? I don't know what household is raising their kids to say, hey, you know, just so you know, when you go to school, when you see a little black kid, you're better than him. I have no idea what household that is, because I don't hang out with motherfuckers like that. You know what I mean? I don't. Do I think it exists? Probably. Who knows? There's a lot of shit in this fucking world that fucking happens that doesn't get my okay.
Which is shitty, because at the end of the day, that kid's innocent. You're teaching him something that is going to put him in a bad spot in society as well.
How are you going to stop it? You're not.
You're not.
You're not.
I think racism will always be around, no matter what.
Maybe so. And that is probably true, because as human beings, we identify with who we are. I mean, we identify with people who are like us.
I mean, you go get your license, and they ask what race. What the fuck does it matter what race I am? My picture's right there. You can tell what color I am, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's an idea.
Or you go to fill out insurance papers.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you go to fill out insurance papers. What does it matter? What does it matter what race I am? I don't know.
Right on. But, like, my point is this. Like, I grew up in Chicago, okay? I was one of 9 white kids in a school of, like, fuck, I don't remember. It was over 1,000 kids, okay?
Yeah, Chicago schools are huge, yeah.
Yeah. I grew up as a minority, okay?
Huh?
And I was bullied by other races. Do I hold it against them? I actually don't. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because as a white person growing up in America, I understand that our race inherently fucked over other races when it comes to this country, right? African Americans were brought over here to be slaves. We took over Native Americans' land. Okay? We took over...
In Spanish land?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. We took over the Mexican Americans, the Aztecs' land, and we were like, oh, it's ours now, fuck you. You know what I mean? I get it, okay? But that's the past. And we can fucking talk about how it sucks. We could talk about how it's wrong all day fucking long. But the fact is, in 2020, we all have to live together.
Yep.
We all have to fucking get along. You know what I mean? Because we could sit here and talk about what our ancestors did fucking 100 years ago, fucking 200 years ago. Great. We could talk about it all day long.
I didn't do it.
Exactly. It doesn't fucking matter these days. Let me put it to you like this, and I'm going to wrap this up because I have a fucking motorcycle to put together after this fucking episode.
It's probably going to be backwards.
I'm an amazing mechanic, just
Drunk?
so you know.
Just remember, exhaust port, small push rod. No, excuse me. Intake, small rod, exhaust, big rod.
Yep. But I have a shop manual. But
Me too.
YouTube, by the way. Anyways, but my point is this. Like, in today's age, you see videos or live feeds, whatever you want to say, on the protests or riots that are happening in Minneapolis. And you see black people, you see white people setting shit on fire the same way. You see bikers, motorcycle clubs, whatever you want to say, commingling. That's why times are better. That's why society should look to motorcycle clubs or bikers for the future. Because as I'm sitting here with my white brother Tank, my Hispanic brother fucking Mijo, my friend fucking Vito who's black, I consider everybody sitting at this table fucking equal.
But see, that's tough because I remember in our last podcast, one of the questions we asked were, why are clubs white or only black or some are Hispanic?
I heard a very good answer to that. I think Dirty could probably expound on that.
Well, because if you look at it historically, when you talk about motorcycle clubs, you have to look at the time they were invented.
It's like I said earlier.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, in the 60s and, you know, 50s or whatever, you know, you had motorcycle clubs or whatever, that the biker lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. The times in the U.S. weren't exactly progressive, right? Whites hung with whites, blacks hung with blah, 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 right? And you'll hear other people say, well, you know, the reason why clubs are fucking all white or all black is because once they get into the prison system, you know, the prison gangs take over, and prisons are always segregated where the blacks hang with the blacks and the whites hang with the whites and the Hispanics hang. Look, in my opinion, right? And I'm not an authority on the fucking issue by any stretch of the imagination, but my opinion in 2020, motorcycle clubs, bikers, cops, whatever, need to realize that no matter what color your skin is, you're the same piece of shit, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've hung out with some fucking black dudes from some black clubs, and the only difference between me and them is fucking skin color. We're into the same goddamn shit.
Yeah.
We're about the same goddamn thing. We want the same fucking thing, right? We want to be left alone. We want to party with our fucking brothers. We want to ride our two-wheel death machines. We want to fucking live our lives. Shut the fuck up. Leave us the fuck alone. And I'm going to tell you, as a fucking white guy, right? As a white guy, when I see a fucking pig fucking put his fucking knee on some fucking dude's fucking neck for 8 goddamn minutes, I'm pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A man's in handcuffs. What the fuck is he? He ain't a threat to you.
Nope.
No. You know what that is? That's an abuse of authority.
Yes.
That's
all the while he's telling you he can't breathe, with 2 other cops also on top of this man.
3.
All the while he is urinating and pissing himself. Right?
That's an
Yeah.
abuse of fucking authority.
And
So when we talk about fucking protests about COVID-19 keeping certain businesses fucking closed, abuse of authority, right? You're going to tell me I can't fucking open my fucking tattoo parlor or my fucking hairdresser shop or whatever, bar, restaurant, whatever, because of a virus, right? You're going to tell me I can't do that as a free-thinking American that's under the Constitution? You're going to tell me I can't do that? There's a protest. Oh, wait, you're going to tell me I can't fucking live my life as a human being because I'm black or Hispanic? I can't fucking drive my car. I can't fucking ride my motorcycle because I'm black and Hispanic. I now have to prove that I'm not a criminal to you in order for you not to fucking put a gun in my face and fucking stick your knee in my fucking neck when I'm laying on the goddamn concrete because I'm a fucking minority? That's fucked up. We're all on the same side.
Yeah.
And the side is, we want to be free. We want to not have a government tell us what we can and can't fucking do because they deem it wrong or they deem it criminal, right? Why are you concerned about what I put on my body? Why are you concerned about what I do with my fucking brothers sitting in a fucking clubhouse? Why do you criminalize my lifestyle? And that's what I guess I'm getting at with this episode, is that as bikers, whatever, we can all identify with each other because we're trying to be free.
Yep.
Bikers are inherently a free-thinking form of society, right? We want to ride our machines. We want to do what we do. We want to be left the fuck alone. We want to have badass bitches on our motorcycle, which, by the way, why the fuck did you drop her off before you came here,
That was a nice
man?
looking lady, man.
I saw her, man. I saw you coming down the fucking road on the way here to the clubhouse, and I'm like, God damn, that Vito? Damn, what's he got on the back of his bike? Fuck. You should have let her stop down. Fuck.
You know, with everything being said and what you said,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and it's like, dude, who would have ever thought that 4 dirty bikers had the perfect open dialogue to be able to transfer that into society?
We're society's fucking rogues, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it, because really, at the end of the day, we're nobodies.
Right.
But yet,
how do we get it?
It's almost like the answer's right here. It's so crazy.
It's right here. It's right here, man.
And you got politicians out there that can't figure it the fuck out. Yeah, here we are smoking cigars and drinking scotch, and we figured it out.
Politicians who can't figure it out, who have bounds of resources to enact these things. Right?
Yeah.
All you have to do is just sign it and then delegate people to do these things.
Right on.
Right.
Well, as Dirty said, it's about that time on Biker's Life where we talked about a lot. This has probably been our most heady and intensive conversation we've had here on the Biker's Lifestyle, and I dig it, man.
Well, it's hard times these days, man. When I came up with this fucking idea for this goddamn podcast, man, it was all about fucking talking to dudes, talking about the life. We were going to talk about riding motorcycles. We were going to talk about partying, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, goddamn fucking Chinese lung cancer came out, you know, and okay, everybody shut the fuck down. We can't fucking go to bars and restaurants. Okay, cool. Great. Let's move past it. Oh, by the way, cops are killing fucking motherfuckers in the streets like it's goddamn fucking fucking problem, right?
We're not talking about murder hornets anymore now, though, are we?
Yeah, you got murder hornets. Let's not forget the fact that they fucking admitted that there's UFOs.
But I feel
we can't not talk about UFOs at some point.
Eventually something else will come by so we can get sidetracked with some
I'm sorry.
bullshit. You know
were you talking about the fact that Brazil is goddamn under a fucking revolution as its fucking country falls apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil, by the way. Yeah.
There's
They were
hot chicks
fucking
there.
Well, once again,
they
gentlemen,
revolutionized fucking pubic hair
we
in Brazil.
continue this conversation, though. I'll be breaking this fucker into 2 episodes, let me tell you.
All right.
And I don't know how much
No,
steam
you
I
won't.
Wow, I'm Mr. Producer. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I'm sorry,
There you go.
Mr. Big Dick. Go ahead. Continue.
No, all I want to say is just let's try to sum things up if we could, and we'll start. Vito, we'll start with you. Final thoughts.
Oh, hold on.
Whoa.
I got to say something.
That's right. It's his podcast, everybody. I'll shut
It's not
the
my
fuck up.
podcast, but I got to say something. It's a beautiful thing, right? Like, when I watch the news or I fucking see something on fucking social media where there's like doom and gloom in the fucking world, you know what I mean? I think to myself, I got it pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? I got it really fucking good. I got a fucking 9 to 5 where I can make some fucking money. You know what I mean? I got a fucking house. I got a wife. I got fucking club brothers. I got good friends. And we can sit around and we can fucking have a drink. We can have a smoke. And we can fucking shoot the shit.
Yep.
Life ain't that bad. Okay?
For us.
Yes.
For us,
Right.
right? I get it, man. People have it fucking hard out there, and I sympathize with them. Being in a club that puts on fucking a shit ton of fucking charity events, I can absolutely fucking tell you that I fucking identify with people that have a hard time because I see it fucking straight up, okay? I have dropped fucking Christmas presents off to people who live in a fucking house that don't have 2 fucking nickels to rub together, and they have fucking the most harsh living conditions in this fucking country. Like the shit I've seen, I can't even fucking say. Like I can't fucking articulate it because it's fucking insane to think in the new millennia, 2020, whatever you want to say, that people still live like that in a country that considers itself a fucking superpower. I can't even fucking tell you the shit I've fucking seen.
People in America without running water or electricity.
It's horrible. But, I am privileged enough to have a JOB and enough cash to fucking afford me a motorcycle and to allow me to hang out with amazing people like yourselves. And all I can do is fucking pay it forward. And all I can do is fucking thank the fact that this country gives me a fucking platform where I can put my ideas out there on a fucking social media machine such as YouTube or Spotify or whatever, and to sit here with you people. It's like,
You people.
you people.
Here we go.
You people. You black and Mexican and white people that are in this goddamn room. I can all sit here and we can all share ideas.
I don't want to put any fingers, but you.
We're supposed to be wrapping things up, not starting a whole fucking...
We can do what we want.
Exactly.
But No, I'm just saying, man, it's a beautiful thing that we can sit here and share ideas. We can have conversations. You know? This isn't a fucking thing where I'm looking to get clickbait.
Right.
You know? What am I going to say, you know?
Two things. Not only can we share our ideas amongst each other, but we can also live out these things as examples to others.
Fuck yeah.
If you do that with a patch on yourself, or if you do it with a
Loud
samurai,
and proud, baby.
if you do that with a samurai knot in the back of your head, right? That we can live these examples as bikers, independent, free-thinking people.
Amen. Amen.
Well, that
Mijo.
concludes
Well,
this
let's-
episode of The Biker's Lifestyle. Mijo, do you have any fucking final thoughts for the
You know, I just
two
want to
listeners that are listening to us right now?
I
yeah,
just
go
want,
ahead.
I want to thank you guys for actually bringing this conversation about and not being scared to touch on the subject. You know what I mean?
I ain't scared.
And I want to, not that I have to thank you for this, but I want to thank you guys for not being closed-minded people and for accepting people for who they are. Because throughout this whole conversation, I looked at you guys, and when I look at you guys are very rare people. Very rare people. And I am, at the end of this and end of everything, I'm glad to call you guys my club brothers and my friends, because you guys don't judge on the color of skin, and you guys are open, and you guys are you're very rare people, and I'm glad I met you guys, and I'm glad we've done this. I'm glad you guys touched on the subject, and that you're not fucking scared to fucking touch on this kind of shit.
Wow, he just makes me glad I voted for him to get his patch. I know. I love you, brother.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Yep,
Thank
thanks.
you very much.
Yep.
We are having a group hug after this.
Yeah,
You know-
I'm going to sing Kumbaya.
You know, my last thoughts, final words, are no different than my last final thoughts and words from before. Be kind to one another.
Yeah.
Be kind to one another. It costs you nothing. Nothing. Period. Be respectful of one another, and also know that for every person you engage, their thought process, their thinking, their way of life is very limited to their experiences. Okay? And when you can do that, not only is it easier to be that to people, but to be more consistent at that and to be examples to people who just may not know any better. Be that consistently. Yeah, and you know, with everything going on, you know what? Godspeed to us all.
Godspeed to us
for
all.
sure.
May we all get through this. May we all get through this whole COVID crisis. May we all even get through our own struggles and strifes that we have behind the patches, behind our front doors, underneath our blankets. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I just want to wrap things up and say, first and foremost, what we learned here today is the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it opens.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say we didn't touch really on riding motorcycles, but we are bikers talking about life from our perspective. And just remember, the most dangerous part of your motorcycle is the nut that connects the seat to the handlebars. Thanks a lot, folks.
Hey, I haven't had my final say.
You've had your fucking say throughout, man.
Oh, I don't give a flying fuck. I'm going to say this.
Damn it, man. I got to fucking do some editing now? No, I said it. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man.
Yep.
Where's the Purell, by the way?
Oh, shit, we haven't... Well, they haven't fucking given us any sponsor money, so we're going to fucking turn back to our
Back on the
friends
Bourbon
at
Bleach
the...
bottle.
Total Wine,
the... How do you say that?
Belvini.
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 The fucking Scotch whiskey of a gentleman. Belvini.
Damn.
When it counts.
Look what you've done. You sophisticated him.
I did, right? No, I'm going to say this real quick. You know, at the end of the fucking day, riding motorcycles, however you want to identify yourself, a biker or whatever, at the end of the fucking day, we all share the fucking same wind. You know? We all share the love of the open road. And the reason why me and fucking Brother Tank started this podcast is to give fucking the average man a fucking voice.
Voice.
A fucking voice.
Yep.
You know? Because no matter what the fucking mainstream media wants to put out there, like, oh, this is a black problem. Oh, this is a fucking white problem. Dude, it's a human being fucking problem. You know? It's an American problem. It's a world fucking problem. And I'm going to sit here, I'm going to have the fucking final word because I say so. You know what I mean?
It's your podcast.
It's my podcast. But, look, don't fucking forget the fact that we're all human beings. You know? We all want the same thing. We all want to fucking be happy. We all want to fucking do whatever the fuck we consider our thing a thing. Right? If you're into motorcycles, and I'm going to assume if you're hearing my voice, you're into motorcycles. If that's what your thing is, then be it. Don't let the fucking world tell you what you can and can't be. Right? I don't care if you're Hispanic. I don't care if you're playing on your phone like fucking Mijo is. Jesus Christ, you fucking millennials. I don't care what your thing is. Just be your thing. And you're good. You know? I fucking respect the shit out of everybody in this fucking room. You know? I respect my fucking brother Mijo. I respect my brother Tank. I respect Vito for just being who they are. Because that's all that fucking matters. And with that, I turn it over to Brother Tank to end this thing. Because that's how this podcast fucking ends.
He already ended it.
He already did, but he stepped entirely over my dick and didn't let me say a goddamn final thing.
I gotta, you know what? And you're right, brother. I did, and I apologize for that. I don't apologize.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm busting
that's
balls.
What close brothers do, man.
Exactly. Look at our next episode where we don't talk about heavy shit. It doesn't become a shit show.
Yeah, we could talk about the 2 tornadoes we saw a week ago today.
Fuck, we saw 2 tornadoes last weekend.
We did.
Yeah, last weekend.
Next time we'll do a special.
Next weekend we'll talk about the 2 tornadoes, and it was amazing.
But I don't know. Stay true to yourself, man. We'll see you.
Fuck the police.